morning, students. Today we are going to continue with the numericals which were left from the topic effects of electric current. Today we will be seeing how one can calculate the cost of the electricity bill for the energy which will be consumed for a given time duration, and depending on which kind of electrical appliances were used for consuming the electricity. So, let us see in the textbook the exercise which is given, unsolved problems, page number 61, question C. They have given here, I will read it for you. Who will spend more electrical energy, 500 watt television set in 30 minutes or 600 watt heater in 20 minutes. So, they have given two cases over here. One is television set, the other one is a heater. So, let us write down first the given conditions for both the appliances. They have given television has power 500 watt. So, I can say P1 is equal to 500 watt, and the time duration they have given is it is consumed for 30 minutes. So, T1 is equal to 30 minutes. Now, next is heater. In case of heater, power is 600 watt and time duration is 20 minutes. Now, question arises, they are asking who will spend more electrical energy. Yesterday we have already collected the list of formulas which will be used for calculating such kind of factors. We are aware power is the electrical energy consumed per unit time. So, I can write here P1 is equal to E1 upon T1, and hence energy consumed by television set will be P1 into T1. Whereas, in case of heater, P2 will be E2 upon T2, where E2 is the energy consumed by the electrical heater. So, E2 will be P2 into T2. Now, the most important factor which is to be converted in this numerical is the time duration. So far we have seen that the energy consumed is kilowatt hour. At the most we can write it as 1000 watt hour. So, the unit for power need not to be changed, but if you see time duration is given in minutes, we need to convert this time duration into hours. So, I can say 30 minutes is half an hour, and in case of $20 minutes, same thing we will apply. How to convert it is simply taking the ratio. Here also I did the same thing. Here 30 divided by 60. So, I get half an hour. So, in this case I will be getting 1/3 hour. Now, we are ready with the units. Only thing is we need to substitute in case of energy consumed by the television set, P1 is 500 into T1. T1 is half an hour. So, if you cancel it out, we get 250. So, E1 will be 250 watt hour, or simply you can write H over there, does not make any difference. Whereas in case of E2, P2 is 600 and the time duration is 1 by 3 hour. So, if we solve this further, we get energy consumed is 200 watt hour. If you want to convert this in kilowatt hour, that can also be done by writing it as 0.250 kilowatt hour, and here writing it as 0.20 kilowatt hour. So, easily we can make the conclusion from the given two values that the energy consumed by the television set in 30 minutes is more as compared to the energy consumed by the heater in 20 minutes. Let us cross check with their answer, and their answer also says that television set consumes more energy. So, at the end you can make a conclusion, television set consumes more energy. So, this problem can be solved easily by just comparing how much energy was consumed by both the appliances. So, I have written in watt hour as well as in kilowatt hour, because yesterday we saw for calculating the cost of electricity bill, the unit where the electricity is consumed is called kilowatt hour. I hope you understood the numerical. Let us proceed further to the next numerical. It is unsolved problem from the textbook, page number 61, problem D, where they have given, I will read it for you, an electric iron of power 1100 watt. So, the appliance used over here is electrical iron whose power is 1100 watt. It is operated for 2 hours daily. Time for per day for which the electrical iron was operated is 2 hours daily. What will be the electrical consumption expenses for that in the month of April? So, for month of April, per day the time duration was 2 hours. We are aware in the month of April we have 30 days. So, per day if we operate for 2 hours, then for 30 days the time duration of operation will be 60 hours. Time duration will be 60 hours. Also they have given the electric company charges rupees 5 per unit of the energy. The rate is rupees 5 per unit. Now what do you mean by per unit here? It is rupees 5 per 1 kilowatt hour. So in that case we need to find out for the whole month of April what will be the cost of the electricity which is consumed. Let us see the calculation, but before that we need to convert the power into kilowatt. We know that the power rating for that electric iron is 1100 watt. If you want to convert this in kilowatt, we shift the decimal point to the left side and we can write it as 1.1 into 10 raised to 3 watt, which is 1.1 kilowatt. So the power of the electric iron is 1.1 kilowatt. Now let us find out electric energy consumed for 60 hours. Electric energy consumed for 60 hours will be, it will be this power of the iron into the time duration. So it will be 1.1 kilowatt and into 60. So this will go around 66 kilowatt hour. Now the problem becomes very easy. Once we have calculated the total number of units, see electric energy consumed for 60 hours is 66 kilowatt per hour, which is as good as the number of units consumed is 66 kilowatt per hour. We know the rate is rupees 5 per kilowatt hour. So cost will be rate into number of units. So we know the rate is 5 and into the total number of units consumed. So the answer comes out to be rupees 330. So the cost of the electricity bill for month of April, since we have 30 days in April, per day the time duration was 2 hours. So for 30 days it will be 60 hours. Then we calculated how much unit of energy is consumed. We know in the numerical it is given the rate for 1 unit is rupees 5. So for 66 unit it will be how much? So by unitary method we have multiplied 5 with 66 and the final answer comes out to be 330 rupees. Let us cross check it with the answer, and their answer is also given rupees 330. So this is the way one can easily solve the numericals based on calculating the electricity bill. So whatever unsolved numericals were there in the exercise that we have covered. Now further we are going to see in the next topic how to apply this heating effect in day-to-day life in case of electrical appliances, and what are the technical factors behind it. So, since the title is effect of electric current, now today onwards we will be seeing specifically different types of effects which are related to flow of current in a given appliance. So, our first case is heating effect of electric current. Now, question arises, where is this concept applicable? Let us first count those appliances where this principle is used, heating effect of electric current. In our day to day life, most of us use electric iron. Electric iron has a coil in it. Then electric heaters are there which are used for boiling water. Electric stoves are there which are used for cooking purpose. Whereas in some cases electrical furnaces are there used in metallurgy. A question arises, just by passing electricity, how one can attain such a high temperature so that the appliances can be used for such variety of purposes. So, for that you should know which material is used through which current is passed for certain duration, it will produce more amount of heat. This point is not given in the textbook, but I will mention it with the equation provided in the textbook over there. H is equal to I square RT. This will be our key equation. Now, question arises, how to develop more and more quantity of heat energy? To develop more and more quantity of heat energy, on which parameters that heat energy will depend? So, the point is, the heat energy will be depending on the magnitude of the current flowing through the material, square of the current. H is proportional to I square. Then it will be proportional to the resistance of that material. More is the resistance, more will be the heat energy produced, more will be the temperature in that case. And then it is also proportional to the time duration. For more time duration, if you pass the current through that material, then more and more heat will be developed. So, these are the three factors on which the magnitude or the quantity of heat energy produced depends. Current, one can easily control how much magnitude of current should be supplied. If the source is DC, then in that case rheostat is used to adjust the magnitude of current. If the source is AC, then we use dimerstat to adjust the magnitude of current, and depending on that heat can be adjusted, whatever amount of heat is to be developed. Question arises, time is also okay. For more time duration, more will be the heat, less time duration, less will be the heat. But the second factor which is there is most important. In lower classes, let us see one interesting factor. We have seen resistance of any material is depending on few things. Resistance increases with that length of the conductor. or the material. It is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area. And if you club these 2 points, you will come to know resistance is proportional to L upon A. Remember, A is not surface area, A is cross sectional area, L is the length of the conductor. So, when I remove the proportionality, I will introduce a constant term over here which is called specific resistance or resistivity. Specific resistance or denoted by letter rho. If you see, resistance will be more, in that case resistivity will be also more, because resistivity is defined as resistance of a conductor having unit length and unit cross sectional area, and it is measured in the terms of ohm meter or ohm centimeter. So, now question arises, which material is suitable in this case? Some materials I will state here. Nichrome, it is an alloy made from nickel and chromium, and the other one which is most commonly used is tungsten. Generally, these are those materials which are used in case of heating effect. We have seen in our day to day life, we use bulbs for lighting purposes. In that case, you will find the material which is used in the filament is tungsten, and nichrome is generally used in the form of a coil. Now, question arises, both of them are used in the form of coil, and there are 2 types of coil in this case. The one is called coiled coil, means it is spiral and the appearance is also spiral. So, coiled coil, whereas the other one is called solenoid coil. So, if you have observed an electric bulb, the tungsten filament which appears in that looks like a solenoid coil which has spiral turns on it, and the appearance is cylindrical. Whereas in case of coiled coil, the coil is spiral about itself, but the appearance is not cylindrical. The appearance will be also in a coiled manner. One, it is coiled about its own axis, as well as the shape of the entire wire will be also coiled. So, that is why the name is given coiled coil, whereas it is cylindrical with whirls around it. So, that kind of case is called solenoid. I hope that this much part is clear. So, let us go back quickly, we will revise. In case of heating effect of electric current, the key equation for it is H is equal to I square RT. We see that heat energy produced is proportional to square of the current passing through the thing, the material which is used, directly proportional to resistance of that material, and directly proportional to the time duration for which the current passes through it. To already I explained. The third one, the resistance depends on the specific resistance or resistivity. So, now my last point of discussion over here is why such kind of things are selected, nichrome, tungsten, because nichrome and tungsten are those materials which have very high resistivity or high specific resistance. So, since their specific resistance is high, resistivity is high, that is why their resistance will also be high, and which will help us in gaining more and more heat energy, and that is why such kind of materials are used in electric heaters, electric ovens where coil is used, electric irons, electric furnaces, in metallurgy, and it's many more. So, I hope that whatever is taught to you today is clear. Assignment is completion of the solved numericals which is given in the textbook. So, if you practice more numericals, then it will become easier for you to solve any kind of numerical asked on this topic in your board exams. Thank you very much.